Good day all, my name is Anjalie Simboo and welcome to my presentation on scenario planning for the United Kingdom fast fashion industry. The preceding slides will entail an overview of the industry, developing trends and a focus on those which will have a substantial impact on the industry. Following this will be an examination of scenarios developed from these key trends and the impacts which these will have on the industry and stakeholders. Last, an explanation will be given on the most plausible scenario chosen. Firstly, what is fast fashion all about? The fashion industry is defined by its rapid responses to new trends, quick production and delivery time, low quality clothing with short lifespans at affordable pricing. The fashion industry on a whole plays an increasingly key role in the UK economy through exports and employment. It is valued at around £32 billion with an expectation of growth, of which fast fashion plays a key driving role. It should be noted that the UK is the largest European consumer of fast fashion, of which leading brands include Next, Primark, ASOS, and Missguided. Many of these are predominantly online retailers. Next, I will outline current and developing trends which will directly impact on the industry. The analysis follows the PESTLE framework with an identification of opportunities and threats from these. First, we look at political. There is great uncertainty around the future deals and economic relations of the UK following Brexit. Favorable deals will allow access to new markets, for example, emerging economies, while unfavorable deals will mean higher cost of imports as well as stringent exporting procedures. For economic, we look at the depreciation of pounds. This can mean cheaper exports but also more expensive imports. For social, following Brexit, there has been migration away from the UK. This can result in the loss of skilled labor as well as consumers. Technology. It is often said that the only constant in technology is change. With new technologies being developed, it can enhance the online experience. For instance, virtual dressing rooms. This can definitely be beneficial to e-businesses. However, it can reduce the need for brick and mortar stores. For environmental, there has been increasing concerns from pressure groups, society, and the government on climate change and how industries contribute towards this. There is concerns over the overconsumption, poor textile quality, as well as damage to the natural environment, which is caused by the fast fashion industry. This is gaining a lot of attention. This can allow companies to diversify and create new products to alter their processes. However, it will challenge the fundamental concepts of fast fashion. For legal, there's been a lot of attention recently on designer works being copied and lawsuits being drawn from these. This presents an opportunity for fast fashion to partner with celebrities as well as make them brand ambassadors, therefore, they can set the trends. However, with new regulations in play, this can affect the fast fashion industry negatively. Following an analysis of the list of development trends, the two most critical are post-Brexit trade deals and relationships and the driving concerns for sustainability. So why are trade deals and relations so critical? It will ultimately determine the cost of imports of raw materials and products as well as exports to markets. This will affect pricing of products. For example, free trade will mean no tariffs, which will allow companies to keep low prices. Additionally, this will determine how effective the entire value chain operates. For instance, unfavorable deals can mean stringent procedures. This will result in delays in production or the delivery. This will ultimately impinge on the rapid operations of fast fashion. Fostering positive relations will allow access to new markets. For example, recent partnerships formed by the UK with India and Japan can gradually result in access to these markets, which will allow the fast fashion industry to flourish. A critical factor is the relation with the European Union. 40% of all UK exports go directly to European Union countries. This implies that this is a key relation to be maintained as it will directly impact the overall economy as well as the sale of the fast fashion industry. Next, I will look at why sustainability pressures is a vital factor. With the largest consumer spending segments, being millennials and Gen Z, becoming more eco-conscious, this will directly impact on the clothing offered by fast fashion companies. Two recent surveys carried out indicated that the majority of consumers will opt for eco-friendly products, as well as they believe more regulations should be in place to reduce the negative environmental impacts caused by fast fashion companies. Furthermore, increasing regulations and proposals on environmental bills will affect how fast fashion companies manufacture, market, and source their raw materials. Additionally, strategies to meet the Paris Agreement will add pressure to fast fashion companies as 10% of the global emission now comes from the fashion industry, and this is expected to rise by 25% by 2030. The publication and influence of NGOs and pressure groups will continue to inform and highlight negative impacts caused by the industry. This can result in poor reputation and boycotts for the industry. It should be noted that the two chosen trends can have both transformational and destructive impacts on the industry. So while other trends may have changes to the industry, these are likely to have the most effect. The two trends chosen will form the axis for the scenario matrix. Before I proceed to the matrix, this slide will focus on defining the extremes of both trends. The favorable post-Brexit deals will be defined by strong relations between European Union countries and the UK, as well as non-EU countries. This will lead to less dependence on the EU countries as a major trading partner of the UK. It will also see the development of partnerships to access new markets as well as suppliers, whereas unfavorable post-Brexit trade deals and relations will be characterized by trade barriers such as tariffs and quotas. There will be high volatility in the relationships with the UK, where there will be very few strong ones. High sustainability will be characterized through the alignment of views and actions by government, society, and pressure groups. The throwaway culture will be changed to an eco-conscious one, with additional support of regulation to curb emissions and taxes being levied on firms, such as environmental ones. Low sustainability pressures will be characterized with pressure groups having the most influence and action. The overconsumption and buying patterns of consumers will not be changed significantly to affect the industry. Additionally, government regulations will exist, but it will be poorly implemented with the existence of loopholes. For instance, UK companies which will have manufacturing plants in other countries, so taxes will not be levied on them. The preceding slide presents the scenario matrix of the United Kingdom fast fashion industry in the next 10 years based on the post-Brexit economic trade deals and relations and sustainability pressures. Firstly, it is important to know the reason why we conduct scenario analysis. This tool allows organizations to be proactive by developing plausible views of what the future environment may look like. It prevents organizations from having a myopic view, but instead allows strategies to be developed to exploit opportunities and mitigate threats, giving them a competitive advantage. Now we look at the scenario matrix. Prim and proper is defined by favorable trade deals with high sustainability pressures. Stay woke is defined by high sustainability pressures and unfavorable trade deals. Distress is defined by low pressures for sustainabilities and unfavorable trade deals, while dress to kill is defined by favorable trade deals but low levels of sustainability pressures. The following slides present the four scenarios from the matrix. First, we look at prim and proper, which is bounded by favorable trade deals and relations and high sustainability pressures. Under this scenario, the industry is growing in importance as it becomes a larger revenue stream for the UK. The positive relations allow companies to gain entry into new markets such as India and Vietnam, as well as it sees the formation of strategic partnerships with geographically dispersed suppliers of eco-friendly textiles. Additionally, manufacturing facilities are located based on target markets and suppliers. There's a cultural shift away from the overconsumption and typical buying behavior of consumers. This reduces the need for the typical 52 releases per year from fast fashion companies. New business models are prominent. These include thrift shops, rental of clothes, and recycling. This allows consumers to stay in trend while reducing the level of disposal. Fast fashion companies can integrate this into their operations to gain opportunities. However, it can become a new competitive force for these companies. Stay woke. This is defined by unfavorable trade deals and high sustainability pressures. The key features of this scenario include the reduction in choice of consumers as exports are more expensive. The overall costing of fast fashion clothes is higher as sustainable textiles are more costly. As a result of trade relations, supplier power is higher, with the demand for eco-friendly textiles coupled with fewer cost-effective suppliers from countries with favorable trade relations. Additionally, exports are subjected to higher requirements. There's a significant reduction in the carbon footprint with new business models being developed. This includes the measurement options to ensure clothes fits consumer to their specifications. The, the throwaway culture shifts to an eco-conscious production and consumption. UK M&Es move production facilities back to the UK through government support. Lastly, competition for local market share intensifies with new entrants and actions from other sectors of the fashion industry. This scenario, distress, is bounded by poor trade relations and low sustainability pressures. With less consumer choice and high import prices, the eco-conscious nature of consumers fall, which lead to the preference for cheap fashion rather than eco-friendly products. Exportation of recycled material also declines, leading to more disposal in landfills. Buyer power is moderate. The local market will be critical for companies with productions based in the UK. The industry becomes highly dependent on EU relations as the majority of exports are for these countries. UK MNEs may benefit from being geographically dispersed with their productions and operations. However, imports into the UK may be subjected to charges. Lastly, high levels of competition exist as each sector tries to capture market share. However, the low prices of fast fashion will ensure their continued dominance. Last, we examine the dress to kill scenario. Bounded by favorable trade relations and low sustainability pressures, the key aspects of this scenario include buyer power remains low as UK fast fashion companies supply both local and international markets. Despite the concerns of climate change and some eco-friendly lines being offered, the buyer behavior and overconsumption pervades all generational segments. The UK becomes a top exporting country of fast fashion for both EU and non-EU countries. The global emission levels of 25% as previously predicted is surpassed as a result. Manufacturing is based on mass production, with value chain locations being dependent on the ability to quickly respond to consumer trends. From the analysis of the scenarios, it can be concluded that the prim and proper scenario is the most plausible. The benefit of scenario planning lies in the results being used to develop strategies to exploit opportunities while limiting threats. The prim and proper scenario was chosen as evidence currently points to favorable trade deals being developed. The adoption of environmental objectives by fast fashion companies signal that pressures are growing. For example, ASOS plans to use 100% cotton by 2025. Government intervention and the pressure to achieve the Paris Agreement targets makes both the dress to kill and distress scenarios least plausible. While the stay woke scenario is quite plausible, the UK will seek to develop favorable relations to ensure its economic success. This slide focuses on a cone of plausibility, which shows that the prim and proper scenario will be the most plausible. Under this scenario, industry players are characterized by an increased power of suppliers due to new eco-friendly textiles demand, Threat of new entrants and substitutes will be higher due to new business models being developed. Competition will remain relatively high while buyer power will be low. The following slides contains all the references which would have been used within this presentation. Thank you for your time.